Looking out those windows and photographing the Earth is a common pastime for International Space Station crew members, especially when they have time off duty to just stop and stare and take in the panorama of the world moving below them. Last year, astronaut Randy Bresnik made a special mission for himself. He took pictures of particular spots on Earth from orbit, and then matched those photos up on his social media sites with shots of the same spots that he had taken when he was at those locations. Came out looking like this.
After the big multi-story thermos bottle in which we can pump all the air out and then chill it very cold.
This critical test has been planned for a long time. It was a very long test, and we passed with flying colors. Webb is a partnership between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency.
Science is international because we bring the best to the table that everybody can offer.
And it really takes a planet to make a telescope like Webb.
It's pushing the limits of technology, and it's going to push forward the limits of science.
It's an incredibly powerful tool to take the next step in space exploration.
You know, I really feel fortunate to be living right now and be at NASA right now, because for the first time in history, we can address the question, are we alone in the universe, scientifically, with Webb as a major tool.
Once that telescope is combined with the spacecraft, the complete observatory will undergo an additional level of testing in California before it's transported to the ESA facility in French Guiana, from where it's scheduled to launch next year. If you'd like another look at any of the stories we featured today, check us out on YouTube and Facebook, right in the addresses there in the blue box. And while you're there, take a look at all the other great stuff you can find about NASA and America's human spaceflight program. If you're interested in good conversation about space exploration, check out Houston, We Have a Podcast. That features folks here at NASA talking about their work and their personal experiences on the job. We post new episodes on Fridays. And today, February 9th, my colleague Gary Jordan talks more about the James Webb Space Telescope. His guest is Jonathan Homan, the project manager for the vacuum chamber testing that the telescope just completed here in Houston. They're going to talk about those tests and the mission of the observatory. Go to www.nasa.gov/Johnson/HWHAP, as in Houston, we have a podcast. You'll find all the episodes there. You can listen there too, also on SoundCloud and on iTunes. This is Mission Control, Houston.
Hey, you're watching NASA TV, on the air and online every day, on this planet and beyond.
Good morning. Welcome to Mission Control Houston. You're looking at the International Space Station Flight Control Room and the team of specialists on duty helping the Expedition 54 crew members with their science and maintenance tasks during the last few hours of the workday on orbit. This week, the Expedition 54 crew members have had a renewed focus on scientific research, spending a good bit of time on one experiment involving fire in a controlled environment, and another that's focusing on how best to grow plants as food to help sustain future explorers in their voyage out into the solar system.
Houston Station on Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Dan Hewitt. With a breather between all these spacewalks, it was time for some serious science. NASA's Joe Acaba replaced a controller in the combustion integrated rack. Experiment, producing a mix of cabbage, lettuce, and mizuna, also known as Japanese mustard greens. The veggie experiments are continuing to expand our ability to grow fresh foods in microgravity, something mission planners are hoping will be an integral part of the food supply for future long-duration missions, especially those that fly way beyond the Earth. From across the spectrum, including material science, fluid physics, life science, and technology development. It also has space for external experiments, including the very popular high-definition Earth viewing platform. Keep sending in questions using the hashtag #SpaceToGround. We'll see you next week.
That Progress cargo ship is scheduled to launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome this Sunday morning, February 11th, at 2:58 a.m. Houston time. The coverage on NASA TV and NASA.gov will begin at 2:30 in the morning, and then return at 5:30 to cover Progress docking to the station, which is targeted to occur at 6:24 a.m. Central Time. Like this Progress cargo ship, the previous cargo ship to dock at the station back in December brought supplies for the crew members and new science experiment hardware. One recent delivery was an experiment called Optical Fiber Production in Microgravity, provided by the private company Made in Space. It operated on the station for a few weeks and then was returned to Earth on the Dragon cargo ship. Its goal: demonstrate both the scientific and commercial merits of manufacturing exotic optical fibers in space. Advantage of a condition on the station that can't be replicated on Earth: microgravity.